Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stakini.
Me, Lewis Coleman.
And me, Ben Hart.
The show where each week a guest joins us in the writer's room to create a story like you and we have never heard before.
Not quite knowing what's around the corner or what we'll find along the way, as this podcast is exactly what it says on the tin.
It's all made up.
It's like you never left.
Yeah, it's good.
like-
Yeah, because I moved away from the mic.
We knew we were doing it for our jobs.
Yeah, definitely you were.
Yeah.
So, as you might see if you're watching, Harry has got a nice little tan because
Nice
you
little
have.
glow.
Where have you been? You haven't mentioned.
Just Africa.
Just
you know what I mean?
Africa.
Yeah, the highest point of it, actually.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. The Euro Peak, it's called.
Is it actually?
Yeah, there's three. Let's not get into it, but there's 3 summits. I've conquered them all.
What time did you do? Did you strive for it? Oh,
No, I didn't. No. It was about 8 hours.
is that good?
It was all right.
Yeah.
We were the second. We were last to leave camp on the night, and we were second to the summit. But when you're on your own, which I was, you can
your
move.
own?
Yeah. There was no one in my group. It was me and 6 Swahili lads.
So you weren't on your own, you were with them?
Yeah, but like
Come on.
you didn't have like
Yeah.
a tour
Yeah.
group. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like 14 in a group. So for me, there was me, my guide, a chef, and 4 porters. And if you've got a group of 14, that multiplies by 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like,
What? So you each of you have like your own team.
yeah.
How much did it cost this trip?
Just shy of what the climb itself.
Yeah,
Just shy of $2,000.
Well, you sure you went...
That's cheap.
Yeah,
that.
just to climb the mountain.
Right.
Then you tip. Then my flights.
Of course you tip. You got carried up the mountain by 14 lads, that's why.
Yeah, not 14, 6. But yeah, it's mental. Like I had a chef, and he made me a pizza, made me donuts. It was the food. I had a Nando's on the side of the mountain at one
This
point.
lad, he's been making out his Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
But there was some people that had toilets carried up from them, and I was like, I'm not going to make someone do that.
Right, this is blowing my... Right, so let's just clarify. This is Kilimanjaro, this.
Yeah.
I were calling it Kilimanjaro while you were away. I were pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah. Also, we've spoken a lot while Harry's been there. It's not like...
Yeah.
Right, but someone was carrying a toilet up there.
Yeah, So in the big groups,
What did it look like? Like a
it
proper
looked like
flush and
a
everything?
bucket, yeah. Pipes.
So it was someone dressed as a wardrobe in like Beauty and the Beast. He's walking up.
One lad with cold water, the other with hot. No, it was a bucket with a lid.
I'm the flush.
But I thought I'm not gonna do that. And because I got told on day one that it was just me.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you mind if you just eat your meals in your tent instead of us bringing the mess tent?" And I was like, "Of course, that's absolutely fine."
The mess tent.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? So because I was traveling on my
This is too good.
own, I got to move at my own pace. And
Yeah,
if
of course
there's a
you-
group of 14, you move at the pace of the slowest person. So the bigger groups, what took them 6-7 hours took us 3 because we just fly past them, right? But when we would stop for lunch, like we'd be ahead of the group. We would arrive at a canteen that's been like erected, right, out of like tarp and tables, and they've got fucking buffet lids and all that, right? Swear to God. So you'd arrive to that. That's not for me, right? Because obviously I'm not in a group. So I'd then be sat with Nazir, top guy.
The rapper.
Yeah,
Sam here.
Yeah.
City Arsenal player.
sat with him, having a little packed lunch with him, just chatting away. And he'd say to me, he'd be like, "These people have paid like this much and that much extra for all these little bits and pieces." He was like, "And there's no difference between the experience you're having and they're having." And I was like, "Yeah, I agree, but they're also like sat in a cathedral, you know." And I'm just sat with you in the fog.
I can't believe he did that.
But yeah,
mate.
it was mad. And then in the morning we would leave, and the porters and the team would leave after you. But they were like soldiers, right? They would beat you to wherever you were going to be.
I thought you meant like with sticks.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Fucking, why are you making me carry this?
Do you know what? I've been telling people that you've been like roughing it climbing Kilimanjaro. So it's like you got a bloody limousine. I'm not surprised you got a cable car halfway up, and they were like, "Here you are, sir. Here's your." No champagne when I arrive. I've reached the summit.
I did. It was, what was funny was that going up on the night, I was absolutely goose, right? Because it was like it's the hardest thing I've ever done that last day. And when I was going up and I was taking a breather, like just like 30 seconds, you know what I mean? Just really trying to get your breath back. The lads would be dancing just to stay warm in front of me. And I was like, "How are you not out of breath?" And they're just like, "Come on, whenever you're ready, mate, we'll get going." And I'm just like,
That is unreal.
it was superb. I can't recommend it enough.
I feel like there's so many stories we can mine out of your trip to Africa.
Yeah.
But I think what we've got to do since our guest is on the couch, just waiting very patiently and nicely to be introduced, I think you should introduce who we've got today.
Yes, for those who are listening, you can't see, but for those that are watching, you can see the brilliant Nina Gilligan as our guest for today.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just quietly just listening to your what sounds like a 5-star trip up Kilimanjaro.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. But I think my trip in comparison to other people's, I was roughing it in comparison to them.
You keep telling yourself.
Listen, I reckon my walk home from work was harder than your walk up Kilimanjaro. Yeah. There's more chance of danger walking through rush home.
But yeah, it was superb. But thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
I'm very excited.
We're excited to have you.
I mean, just the fact that you get to pick things from cups.
Well, set the bar low.
Just a quick one, Nina. If you just push the mic down a tiny bit. There we go.
There you go.
Is that so you can see me?
So I've got your eyeliner, not just the microphone. But I think it's important for the people who might not have heard of Nina before.
Yes.
Which is almost everybody.
Which is surprising considering the accolades that Nina's, what would you say, collected over the past year or two.
Stolen.
Stolen. The first time I ever came across you was at the 2019 Fringe when Toby Foster took you up for the show.
Remember that?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Toby, I love Toby Foster. He was in Phoenix Nights and he's now mainly a promoter and works on BBC Radio in Sheffield. You'll know him from his voice.
Yeah.
Stick with me, Nina. I'm going to make you a star. He didn't.
Yeah, you're here.
Still time.
You're in
That was 2019.
To be fair to him, though, he didn't give you a timeline.
No.
Yeah.
And he very kindly took me up to Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then it was, 2021 you won Leicester Mercury,
I did.
which is a big award.
It's a nice one, that. I mean, I'm amongst really famous sort of alumni of that award, like Jason Manford and Johnny
Ramesh.
Vegas.
Hasn't Ramesh won it as well?
Yeah.
Ramesh won it, and all of them went on to become famous. Again, still waiting.
It takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
I feel
these
like
days.
I'm the Forrest Gump of awards. Like, I'm on all the pictures, but nothing actually ever happens.
Yeah, but it's still a nice story, though, isn't it?
No, I'm not bitter at all. I'm just being.
You don't give that impression.
I'm just being flippant. I'm very proud of them.
Well, how long overall have you been doing stand-up then?
So I started, and I do tell the truth because stand-up's a little bit like, I don't know what to compare it to, but people start to, the longer you've been in it, it's like aging. The longer you do it, the less time you want to say you've been doing it.
Yeah, so you still come across
there's something about being a stand-up. People want to say they've only been doing it 6 months so they can still enter Newcomers Awards. Yeah. But so I started in 2011. So that's 12 years. I only did about one gig in the first year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the actual 2011. I went up to the Edinburgh Festival and did one gig because that was far away enough from Manchester. I thought if I died on my ass, and I did, it was nobody would witness it. No.
So you chose the biggest arts festival in the world to make your debut.
A lot of sense.
Yeah, go hard or go home.
Yeah. But then at least I was like, well, at least my mum won't see it. You know. So
it was sadly filmed.
So what made you get into the comedy? What made you? What was like the impetus?
Oh yeah, so I did a little bit of performing before I had kids. So I'm 52. I should mention that.
52?
Yeah.
I think you're much younger than that.
Thank you.
It's all right. Always flatter the guests.
You the best.
Yeah.
So, and I'd done a bit of a performing when I was in my 20s, and then I had kids, and then I just got completely out of it, and I'd become a special ed teacher, and then I worked for probation with offenders, and I just got a bit burnt out.
Yeah, that's taxing.
Yeah,
it was taxing, and I had a really bad. And this is so. Oh my god, I don't want to depress people, but I had a bit of a what they used to call a breakdown, and I had some CBT.
Right, okay.
Right.
And one of my goals was, I think I'll do a bit of try and get back into performing, even if it's just something like really simple, like Amdram. And then I was like, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And people used to say I was quite funny. Maybe I'll just try stand up in Edinburgh. And that's what I did, and I just kept going.
Right, okay. I thought this was a case of like you'd done the gig in Edinburgh and then trying to get back into it.
No.
Just like the idea of you being like, I've done Edinburgh, and my next gig's going to be in Tokyo.
No.
You know what I mean?
USA, baby.
After that, I'll decide.
Yeah. No.
You've literally just done your solo show yesterday, and a friend of ours so you've done gigs for us at Killer Comedy Club.
Yes.
And
I love
someone
your gigs.
who came to.
Don't just say someone.
Well, should we say names?
Yeah, of course, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly Mellor.
Yeah.
Kelly Mellor, everybody.
Hello,
The absolute,
Kelly.
the great egg.
The
that is
legend.
Kelly Mellor.
Yeah. Big fan of the pod.
Yeah, big fan of
She's-
the pod, big fan of Killer Comedy, big fan of Harry.
Yeah,
big fan of
she's a
everything
big
we
fan
do.
of you.
Big
Like,
fan of you.
She messaged me yesterday, and yeah, Kelly's absolutely mint. But she messaged me saying she said supporting our Nina tonight.
Bless
And
her.
she said the
Thanks,
show was
Kelly.
great, and then I said she's actually coming on the podcast today to record. And she said, well, I'll keep my ears open. But yeah, she's a big fan of your show.
Oh, that was nice.
What did you think of the show? Did you tell you?
She said it was
afterwards?
great.
All right, good.
Yeah. In fact, yeah. But how was it? How was it for you?
It was amazing because it was one of the things. It was at the Frog and Bucket, and it was one of the things that I wanted on my bucket list was to try and at some point in my comedy career, because that's where you sort of start out. If you're a Manchester comic, you go and do. We've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done
Beat the Frog.
Beat the Frog. So, and I hated Beat the Frog. I mean, I had PTSD for years.
Yeah.
I couldn't even walk past the Frog and Bucket without
Really that bad?
gipping a bit. Yeah. Like, I was terrified of the Frog and Bucket for a very long time. I mean, so for me, one of the things on my bucket list was I would love to be in a situation where I had a solo show at the Frog and Bucket where I could sell out a room.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
yeah.
yesterday I sold 200 tickets, and I was like,
That's amazing, mate.
That's mint.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you. So
That's
I was
mega.
just like, for me, that was
Yeah,
a real
sick.
moment,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think I might retire now.
You know, you've done Edinburgh Fringe, you've done Tokyo, you've done the Frog and Bucket.
Yeah,
Wembley
that-
next, and you're out.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's a massive thing putting on your own show, though, isn't it? Like the feeling, like obviously Harry did his at the end of August, and
Yeah.
I think the emotions after it were high just because of how big of an achievement it was.
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I
Yeah.
produced Harry's show. I
Oh,
didn't cry at the
amazing.
end of it. I promise
Yeah.
you. As much as they say that I did.
Yeah.
Well,
There's video
It
evidence.
is. And did you feel that? It's just like a real personal goal, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's you're very appreciative, and I did 2 shows. So, and the first shows, I was like so aware of giving people the money's worth, because I feel like when you go on stage at a comedy club, and the Frog and Bucket's a great example. That for me was not a club that I didn't feel it was an easy place to be. Like for a long time.
No.
And it's only kind of in the last year that I've really started to feel like I know what I'm doing in this room.
Yeah.
Because it's not, the layout of the room isn't perfect. You know what I mean? But like it is definitely doable, but like it can be quite, it's one of them rooms that can be, you've got to be really on your toes. So when you're in a comedy club, there's that like, you've got to win people over immediately. But when you're doing your own show, they're there for you.
Yeah.
And that like shift for me, I was so aware of when we were doing both nights, the first night especially, but the second night I relaxed into it a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's just that like, you're so appreciative and you think, I want this to be so good for you. As if
Yeah.
it's just like 200 people that are pissed on a Friday. You're just like, I'm going to do this. Some of you are either going to really love it and some won't, but I might never see
And
you
it's
again.
a different
And
job
yeah.
it's a different job on a Friday, Saturday night, isn't
Yeah.
it? But I think one of the reasons it takes so long to get on and do it well on a weekend is because you do need to be, you need to be decent to be able to handle that room.
Yeah. You got to be on your toes, haven't you?
Yeah, totally.
I think with your own show as well, I think it's different because obviously they're coming to watch you.
yeah.
Like, so it's they're already invested. So it's like
Yeah.
they're a fan of you because they must have watched you before or they've seen your name somewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get, it's sort of like you're against the crowd on the Friday, Saturday. You know what I think? Because it's like
It's more
you've got to win them over.
adversarial. Yeah, it's definitely, there's a feeling of that
You've got to prove yourself.
gladiatorial.
You've got to walk out and go, I'm funny. Whereas
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
they're
yeah.
coming to watch you, it's like, oh, I know Harry, I know, and I know Nina. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, and it's weird to adjust to that.
But like I've worked with you a few times, and you're solid. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen you MC, but like when you're doing your set, there's no. You feel it looks very comfortable for you to move away from material and then come back to it. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Harry.
Do you not feel that way?
I think like I started emceeing quite early on,
Right?
And I was sort of pushed into it. And I always say to newer comics now, if I could give you a bit of advice, it would be like if you don't think you're an MC, just do it anyway. I think it really teaches you something.
I have a fear of I don't want to get pegged as an MC.
Well, that's a very specific comedy club, I think that'd be.
That is,
Yeah.
I know.
I don't want to be pegged as an MC.
Yeah.
Your next act, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they're inside me.
Don't take a pause.
That was funny, Harry. Well done. Yeah, clip. Yeah. Harry's back. Yeah. You paid the extra at Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
I think you do run the risk of that, but some of that's within your control as well.
Yeah, it's just saying no to things, isn't it?
You can just say no to things. I think I went through a period of that where I was like, I'm getting to MC, or I seem to be MCing all the time. And then there's that thing for women as well, where they there's a bit of a thing where I think because there's less of us, we kind of worry like, are we just getting to MC so it looks like there's more of us? Are you just trying to make it look like there's more female energy now throughout the night? So this is why I'm the MC.
I think
you introduced 3 straight white males. Yeah.
And look, I'm sure there was 3 women on last night.
I think it's probably yourself and Bethany Black who I work with most regularly.
Yeah.
And like Bethany, yeah, she's very.
Well,
funny.
we've got
insanely
Bethany
good.
and yourself on next month at Killer Comedy, haven't we?
Yeah.
she's insanely good.
Yeah, the gig you're doing at Stanford Golf Club.
My family is so excited about that because I grew up in Ashton.
Yeah.
So that is, and I worked there.
Did you?
I worked at that golf club.
At the golf club?
Yeah.
Wow. Well.
So, yeah. I have stories to tell.
Will there be any staff there which were there when you was there?
No, but there's probably members that are there. There's probably members that I've probably poisoned with the scone. But, yeah, me and my sister-in-law, she's my best friend at school who went on to marry my brother because that's how shallow the waters run in Ashton. We both worked there underage. We were probably like 15. And we used to work there and run in inverted commas the kitchen.
All right.
Yeah.
Cooking chips.
Yeah.
How much it's like
Cooking
Phoenix
chips,
Nights, you know?
making sandwiches and ripping old men off for tips.
Well, you know, good for you.
But yeah, you got to. If you're underage, under par, you're just trying to get everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like
that.
Slip that one in.
Oh,
yeah,
mate.
nice.
Yeah.
Any more golf puns going?
I like chipping.
I think a hole in one.
I think we should
Lewis.
put that to bed.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Why was the computer so good at golf? Because it's got a hard drive.
Oh.
Right, we'll end it there. It's not getting
painful.
beat.
No. Gledo always sings your praises, Jack Gledo. Me and Jack live
I
quite near
love
each other. Yeah, and
Jack.
very good friends with Jack. But
I'm doing the Christmas run with him
Yeah, he always
in
sings your praises.
Sheffield. I love him.
never mind. But
He's one of my like you guys. You're all mates, aren't you? He's definitely one of my comedy
he's
buddies.
always says speaks about you in such what's high
Glowing
High
terms.
regards.
Yeah.
He's a really inventive and imaginative comic, and he's also he's a good guy, you know. And I think
we went to Glastonbury together. We had a good time. We're going to Portugal together.
Did you do Glasgow? Did you perform?
Jack did, yeah.
You're amazing.
We're going to Portugal for 3 days together, which will be.
Oh, yeah, that's next week.
I reckon it's going to be mad.
That would be insane. Have the best time. I did Glasgow last year as a performer, and it's just so hard. It's like
Really?
Yeah, Jack's made for it because he's such a visual performer. But basically, you just performing in a. It felt like performing in a hen house. So it's just matting in this massive tent, and people just come in to roost.
It's a recovery tent.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw people like lying on the floor, just who needed ambulances, and I remember watching one comic, like literally getting fuck all. He was getting nothing. I'm not going to name names, and he'd done it year on year out, and I kind of came off because I'd not done my gig yet, and I was like, "How did you do?" He went, "Yeah, fucking smash that."
Oh,
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, and I was like thinking, you're deluded. And then I went on and did mine, and I was like, no, he's right. He smashed that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's such a tough gig.
Yeah.
It's such a tough gig. And you get a graveyard shift that's like 3 a.m, where they are absolutely...
You have to do a gig at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it goes on till 3 a.m. Yeah, I watched.
So you
no.
do one graveyard shift that's at 3 a.m, and then you do one sort of prime time gig that's either mid-afternoon or early evening. And they put me on when Paul McCartney was on.
Who's he?
Yeah.
You was just outside of him on stage.
Yeah. I was signing.
Yeah. She was doing Michael Jackson and say.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. So obviously the choice between Paul McCartney and me, my tent was packed. So
Yeah.
it's just like...
I'd watch you, Nina. I think Paul McCartney ruins every national event. It's always good, then it goes, and at the end, Paul McCartney.
not
just
him
doing
again.
so well.
I think like, Paul McCartney. It must be tough, right? Because think about it. People aren't there to hear your new stuff. Right? They're not. Are
No.
they? You know what I mean? They want like Hey Jude, right? You know they want Let It Be, and just being like, I've played these songs for fucking 50 years.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Yeah, but he's a
let me-
multi-millionaire.
Yeah, but there must be a point where you're a bit like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But like you've paid your money, you want to see him do it, and he's just like, no, I've written this new song. Fuck off, Paul. Play the old stuff.
I was listening to a podcast on the way in, and there was an advert in the middle of it that was saying, oh yeah, I wrote with a bit of a Liverpudlian accent, it's barely there now. I wrote one of his most famous songs. He said he wrote it in his sleep.
Wow.
I thought, has he got dementia now?
Yeah.
Has he just heard it that many times? He thinks he wrote it in his sleep.
He fell asleep to his own CD. Yeah. I woke up with the lyrics in my head.
Yeah.
No, he goes to sleep with a pen in his hand,
Yeah.
dreaming.
I know. It's like, I
That's how
don't
Sergeant
know.
Pepper came about.
Yeah. So, hey, speaking about writing, shall we write a story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of our
I'm glad,
own?
We should.
I
We're here
think,
for a
I'm glad
reason.
you're keeping us on track,
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, that's the theme.
Yeah.
So we will segue, and I'll just set this up. So this is going to be all made up with Nina Gilligan. We'll be back in a sec.
It's all made up, baby.
So the reason why you're here is to make up a story with us.
Oh, I'm
Consider
so
this.
giddy.
It's going to be good. I'm excited for this
Yeah,
one.
it's going to be fun.
So this is, let's see, this is like a writer's room, okay?
Yeah, I'm just wanting to have a word about that because a woman in a all-male writer's room, I can smell a funding application already.
Well, that's what we're hoping. Yes. So thank you, yeah.
And you are going to be our lead writer.
Oh, gosh.
So we're just your
That'd never
assistants.
happen.
Well, it does here because it's all made up. So basically, create a story together. We've got a couple of pots there to assist us with the story. So like a start line, a finish line, and some prompts in between to sort of help us on our way.
Great.
But before we jump in to writing the story, we're going to create a character together.
Yeah,
So what would you like today's character to be called?
I've come up with one. So it's a woman.
Okay.
Her name is Stella. And her surname is Artois.
Nice.
Right, okay.
Stella Artois.
And
How are we spelling Stella?
Stella, Stella.
Okay, so like the beer. Okay, so we've got Stella Artois. Whereabouts is she from, Stella?
Stella's from Glasgow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
all right, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Very violent.
Hey, we
Not
got
necessarily. Come on.
What does she wear? Husband beater? Or
I think, I think she's like a wee wifey. So she maybe wears, like, let's have her in a fleece,
fleece?
okay, then.
blue fleece.
Blue fleece, jeans?
Yeah, jeans, old trainers.
Does she wear socks? Is it like a little anklet you can see?
Yeah,
you know
I
when
think
they
a
have
little
like-
anklet socks.
Okay.
Yeah,
And age?
I think she's in her late 50s.
Okay.
Late
Oh, right.
50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you describe what her hair looks like? Is it in a bun? Is it sort of frizzy?
I
Like-
think
yeah.
you want to jump in with this.
No,
Go
I
on,
saw
go
frizzy.
for it. You saw frizzy.
What
Let's
did
go
you see?
frizzy.
Frizzy?
Yeah, I was like that or a really severe sort of short haircut.
Yeah, I had like Sharon off EastEnders in my head.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
really?
Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
blonde, kind of gelled, spiky.
Oh, well.
Just fuck off,
Okay.
leave me
All right.
alone.
I'm willing to go with the.
No, it's you.
with
It's
the
you.
team.
You're the boss, you're the lead writer.
I saw her with the sort of grey, sort of
Buzz cut.
Not buzz, but short hair, quite like she doesn't give a shit.
Like an 8 all over.
Yeah, she's not bothered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her hair is not what's bothering her.
Like Jodie Foster, how her hair is.
Yeah. Like she's not bothered. Like she gave up. Right. She gave up dyeing it in the pandemic.
Right.
And she's not.
So she's has she always been that type of character, or is it recently she's just sort of like let herself go in a way or stop caring about her appearance?
I think maybe earlier in her life she was very attractive and very good looking, and now she's just like, she's a wee wifey and she's not.
So she is married then?
She was married.
Oh, so
right.
Is it recent? Is it?
I think she was divorced around 10 years ago.
Okay. And what was the reason behind the divorce?
I think it was a bad breakup between her and a partner who went off with someone else.
Right.
So was he cheating on her, or was it did he leave her and then find somebody else? So
I think he was a bad husband.
Right. In many different ways.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I've got an image of her like smoking cigarettes, being like, "You can get your fuck."
Yeah. I think she got rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So was this one of them marriages where it was like straight out of school they met, and then it was like married early doors, maybe before she'd sort of explode?
Yeah. I think she had kids with him.
Yeah.
I think he was a bad lot.
What if? Let's just maybe put it down as like he saw her as a bit of a trophy. You know what I mean? If she was this like gorgeous woman, and they've had this relationship, that sent you west then.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just nearly started vibrating.
I'm sorry. I touched the microphone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was looking at you.
I thought it was when he said trophy wife. It was a shock. She was like,
but yeah, like she was almost like.
Well, she was very attractive when she was younger, and he's sort of like, I'm having you.
Yeah.
Married early doors, had kids, sort of claimed her in a way.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
And he's gone now.
Yeah. And he's gone now. Yeah.
Not on the scene at all.
No one's seen him. He's gone.
All right. So he's just completely disappeared. So is she? What type of house is she living in? Is it a terrace? Is it a
tenement?
Tenement.
What is a tenement?
It's like a big apartment block.
Right.
Yeah, they have a lot in Glasgow.
Yeah. You walk past loads in Edinburgh. Just like big apartment upon apartment floors.
Like an apartment block.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it comes from the French tenement, I think.
Or tenement. Yeah.
And she's also got a French surname.
Yeah, she has.
Okay.
Yeah,
Layers.
of course. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a bit about her parents, maybe. Whereabouts was she born? Was she born in Glasgow, or were her parents French, or?
Oh, that's interesting. She could have. I think she's definitely like. Would her Frenchness come from him, or has she returned
to her maiden name?
Maiden name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more exciting.
I think that's exciting.
Should we say she returned to her maiden name?
Yeah. You got to be really fucking pissed off. Because my dad's married twice and both of them kept his name.
Yeah. I think she's gone back to Artois.
Right, okay. So what was her name?
She's gone back to Artois.
What was the married name?
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey,
Very
right.
Scottish
Stella
name,
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Was he the founder of McCaffrey Internet Security?
I think he was the founder of that. Wasn't there another beer called McCaffrey's?
Yeah, I think there was,
used to get you really leathered.
It was expensive, but did the job, yeah.
Okay, and just quickly before we get our first sort of start card, kids-wise, how many did she have? One or two?
I think she's got 2 kids. Let's say she's got a grown-up.
She's got a grown-up. So her age is what? Are they still living with her, or is she on her own
she's
now?
kind of late. She's late 50s, so I think they've grown up.
Grown up, left the nest.
Yeah.
They're sort of...
Yeah.
Late 20s, early 30s, I'm guessing.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And she's by herself, basically, in this apartment block.
Yeah,
tenement.
she's by herself in the tenement.
She don't work.
She doesn't work.
She doesn't work? She doesn't do anything?
Well, she might have got half of the McCaffrey fortune when she got divorced.
She might have done.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of money around. I mean, maybe she has a podcast. I don't know. I think there's something.
That'd be mad if she did have a podcast.
I think that would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
They're just
something
calling
really
out stories on her husband.
Yeah, but
Episode 12, the gay's a cunt.
I think there's be something surprising about her though. But I'm wondering if the story will take her there. So I don't.
Yeah,
let's do that then. Let's get our first starting card in there. I love the podcast idea. That is
I think it
If
could
you're
be a
enjoying this, you
podcast.
can get me on the Patreon for an
because,
extra episode.
because I think she's maybe got a mission. I'm thinking out loud. She's maybe got a mission because she's definitely got a gripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll find that out very soon. So if you look
Yeah,
at these
yeah.
pots, Nina, in front of you, there's a green pot. It's like the furthest one away. You pick one of them cards at random,
I love this game.
and then where it is a blank, you will replace that with Stella.
Okay. How did you come up with this idea? Oh my God, this is mental. Stella built a machine that would turn vegetables into instruments.
We know where money's come from. Yeah.
Who sent that in? I don't even remember printing that out.
I don't know, but that is a belter.
Can you just repeat that one for us?
This is so off the wall.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be this mental.
It's like a Pink Floyd song.
Someone sent this in.
They must have done.
Stop smoking weed.
So go on, let's piece that together. Go on.
Stella built a that would turn vegetables into instruments.
Wow.
But you can turn a potato into a whistle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Point.
I
Right.
think,
Exactly.
right,
It's
I
not like
think-
she's just like turning
I
carrots
think
into flutes.
She's really skitting
Yeah.
and she's trying to get a bit of money together. And she's like, because it's a really crappy market in Glasgow
Right.
that she maybe goes to on a Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
That she's trying. This is like a business. This is a business.
Okay, so she's going down there to source vegetables.
She's maybe going either down to source vegetables or she's come up with she's come up where she's built a machine from what could she build a machine from where she's turning vegetables into instruments to sell it's called the Barras. It's called the Barras.
That's the market.
The market is called the Barras in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And it's like a famous Glaswegian market where you can buy money at the Barras.
Wow.
It's like proper dodgy. You can go down with 50 quid and buy 500.
That is funny.
Where is this market?
So it's the kind of place where you might be able to get some fucking waxed out Glaswegian to buy a vegetable instrument. They'd be like, that's fucking brilliant, by the way. A fucking carrot.
Right, okay.
I like this.
I like where this is going.
That I can play a tune on. That's brilliant.
Before we dive any further into it, we're going to find out where the story ends. So if you pick up one of the red ones, Nina, and we're going to find out where the story ends, and this is where we're going to work towards.
They were smacked across the face with a wet fish.
Right, okay.
Well,
The market element again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stop
that's where-
playing that fucking flute.
It's a carrot.
Yeah.
Right, so they were smacked across the face with a wet fish.
Right. So she made an instrument. So she made a machine that turns them into. So during lockdown, she would have had a lot of time.
She would have had a lot of time around
Yeah.
us. He's gone.
Yeah.
She's got no money.
What an
She's going
engineering
to have
degree.
to improvise.
I imagine it's just, like
Whittling.
Yeah. Just like whittling away. You know what I mean? Some people learn a
whittling.
language, and she's like turning a spud into an accordion.
I think it's a spud. It's got to be potatoes.
Yeah, cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Right, how about this, right? Here we go. If we're going to go a bit left field, this is my suggestion. So she goes to the Barras Market, yeah? Air fryers became quite big, didn't they,
Air
over lockdown?
fryers.
She buys an air fryer, right? She buys an air fryer off some guy on this market who's a bit of a dodgy guy. I've got this new air fryer. You want to buy it? She's like, I'm not too sure. Take it, go on. 50 quid, go on. Takes it home. Places a potato in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Sets it 20 minutes, come back out. It's in the shape of a flute.
Yes.
It's like a dog. You know what I mean? One of these
Right,
machines
okay,
which
yeah.
is turning whatever vegetable she puts in into an instrument. My offering. What have you got?
I love that. I think there's something definitely in the fact that the air fryer is in some way is something defective.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a defective. It's like
It's a defective shite air fryer
That's how he sold it to
Everything.
her. It's a defected shite air fryer.
Oh, well, I'll take two.
It's proper defective, and there's something about it that every time you put a vegetable in it, it puts holes.
Yeah, puts
Yes.
holes in it.
It puts holes in the vegetables.
In the right places.
But weirdly enough, that creates some. You can get sound out of them. But how is she discovered?
I've got it right.
Go on.
Obviously, say you get chips and they're piping, you're blowing them, don't you?
Yes.
Right. So I reckon, yeah.
She's had the kids round.
Yeah. She's had the kids around and they're all doing recorder practice. I reckon. She. How many kids you got? One or two?
She got two kids.
Two kids.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. So I reckon she discovers it on her own, right? And she's like, fucking up. So she puts a fork in it, pulls it out. She's like, and it's like tuned perfectly.
Yeah,
You know what
perfect
I mean?
tune.
Perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, unreal. Just like, you know, like Indian pipes, like that.
Yeah.
She's like, that is so good, right? And she cannot believe what has happened, right? That she eats it because she's just excited, right? And then repeats it again, puts it in, goes like, can't. Comes out again. And I reckon at that point, she's like, I need to go and tell people. And she gets her children to come round.
That discovery, though, like, must be quite... It take you aback.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like...
And I think like she's. I think there's got to be something though where it's so amazing, and it takes off. Like, you know that kids go through these things where there's a craze.
Right, yeah.
So she's given. So the kids have come around. She's got a grandchild.
Right.
They've taken it to school. Now everybody fucking wants one.
Yeah, remember them lollies that you used to get?
Yeah, yeah,
And they were
yeah.
a whistle.
Yeah.
It could be the potato.
It's the potato whistle.
Yeah, yeah.
Is now. It's getting big. It's getting big.
Here we go.
And she can't get enough of them made from the one fryer.
Right. I like this.
So she needs another fryer.
Right.
well, I
That's
think...
defective.
No, right. So I think that this is a nice story arc because I think that we're jumping ahead quite further. I reckon if we had the air fryer and like she's just discovered it and it comes into like she needs money, so she starts selling them, and over time it gets used so much that it might break. Do you know what I mean? So that we're getting a bit of like, does she set up a market? Does she set up an online shop? Does she start doing Facebook Marketplace and selling these instruments?
YouTube videos on how to play.
So I think there's a nice little story out there. I think.
Also,
Go on.
somebody tries to go into competition with her.
Oh,
Right.
Doing like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Which have never been better than normal potatoes. I'll never have it.
Yeah. There's got to be someone that tries to rip her off.
Does she go back to the market to find the guy, and is he still there, or has he disappeared, or like?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, maybe she can't find him.
Yeah.
That's what I
He's
love
like-
that.
yeah.
I love that. He's not there anymore. It's like that kind of film thing of, I'm trying to think of that 80s
I know
film.
exactly what you're thinking of. Like someone's offered this
like
thing and it's
big.
like,
It's
yes.
Like, it's like big.
Zoltar.
Zoltar
Yeah,
is
Zoltar,
gone. It's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
But I think in her world, Zoltar has come. Really, this man that brought the air fryer to the Barras was mystical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a mystical air fryer seller.
Yeah. I just
And when she goes back, nobody's ever fucking heard of him.
Yeah,
They're
he
like,
had-
you're mental, Stella.
He had
Yeah.
he
There's
had-
never been anyone that sold air fryers
Yeah.
here. It's
I
only
swear
your
to God,
imagination.
I seen his fucking transit van on a magic rod, man. He's mental.
He's never existed, Stella. You're losing it.
I just had this like fucking sketch come into my head where she goes on to Dragon's Den, right? she goes, this is my product. And she plonks it on and she goes, watch this, puts a potato in there, brings out a perfect pitch potato. Theopathetis is blowing on it. That's brilliant. When can we start? I'm all in. And she's like, they're talking about manufacturing. She's like, how many have you got? She's like,
One.
yeah. We'll never be able to scale this up. Are you mad?
Duncan, I'm out. Right, okay, I like where this is going. So, she's figured out, she's got this machine. It creates perfect pitch potatoes.
Yeah.
But there's only one machine.
But there's only one machine. She's gone back to the market. He's gone, he's disappeared. She's got one machine.
It never existed.
It never existed, but the aim, because she's skint the aim must be to sort of make a fortune out of it. You know what I mean? The aim must be to make some money for herself.
Well, also, it could be that there's something, because we had the ex in the background. Let's not forget him.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about him.
Can we put a name on him? What's his name?
Cunty Mac Cuntface.
We go to it, Cuntface McCaffrey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's wrong. I'm just being stupid. Let's give him a proper name.
Yeah, something McCaffrey. Is it McCaffrey?
Philip, something like that.
Philip
I think, like, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like
Philip, is that quite English? I don't know.
John Mc.
Dean.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like maybe
That's a great
maybe
shout.
maybe like he's like, well, she divorced me and I never got my bit of the money. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I can get back in there and get a bit of money or something.
Maybe he's trying to get back in there, or maybe he was a badging and he's sniffing about. He's come back to sniff about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon at the moment it's not world fame, it's local. It's like it's that sort of, like you said, selling at schools. It's like a local fame at the moment with this machine.
And he's either sniffing about, or she needed to buy him out the house. Something that she needed to give him money to start with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a house was under threat, but there needs to be a reason to give him cash, or he wants cash.
I think he's seen it in the Glasgow Herald.
Great.
I think maybe because he's been like,
Local woman
yeah.
discovers musical potato.
Yeah.
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 The picture's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stella Artois
Stella Artois.
discovers musical potato.
Yeah.
Right, but I reckon what might help us is we've got in the yellow pot there, Nina, it's a prompt card. So this is just something to sort of add to the story, take it in a different direction, or help us with where we're at.
usually a different direction.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is just going to ruin our story now.
No, we'll incorporate
we'll
it.
incorporate
It's
it.
always gone well, so let's
Get it
hope
in.
it still goes.
He found a Ouija board in a pizza box.
Right. He found a Ouija board in a pizza box, right. Okay. Right.
I've just got the image of someone like moving crusts.
Point to your left here.
Sorry, spirits in the room. You like ham and pineapple, you mad bastard.
I think that's such a good call.
Right. Here we go. Right.
I think because the pizza leaves like marks when you've eaten it.
Yeah. Like pizza residue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like Face of Christ thing.
Okay.
Like,
What a perfect
he's
Ouija board.
eaten the pizza, and the impression of the eaten pizza is that of a perfect Ouija board.
Look, it's the full alphabet.
Yeah.
A yes and a no.
Yeah, and he's steaming her husband.
Right, here we go. Right.
Well, he might end up in the paper as well.
Right. Well, let's just recap here. So, at the moment, we've got Stella, who's got this musical air fryer, vegetables turn into instruments. So, is it John who finds the Ouija board in a
I
pizza
think
box?
it might suit our purposes if he does.
I think
Right,
it does,
okay.
yeah.
Because I think he's speaking to, he could be speaking to the other side. So he's raging.
Yeah.
He's raging about the newspaper article.
Yeah, I
He's
think
gone
so.
out, he's got steaming drunk,
Yeah.
had a pizza,
Yeah.
found the perfect Ouija board.
Yeah.
That then he's got a glass from his whiskey or whatever.
What if it's
and
like an
it
empty
starts
pot of
moving.
an empty pot of garlic mayo?
Empty pot about
Yeah.
What?
It's that bit in the middle of a pizza. Holds it all together. Moves around. Because no one knows what they're for.
I know, and starts telling him what to do.
Right, I think this works so well, just because the place that I'm imagining in Glasgow here, it sounds pretty wild. You've got a woman with a musical air fryer, this market.
I love
and
this.
I-
I love this film.
In my head, I have it's like a council estate with like pebble dash.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Right, and there's like Alsatians everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that type of environment.
Have you seen Still Game, the Scottish?
I love Still
yeah, I
Game.
imagine
It's
Still
one
Game.
of my
that's-
favourite,
you know,
favourite
what's it
things of all
called
time.
where it's set?
I lived in Scotland for 15 years, and my kids are half Scottish, so they would love this.
Right, okay.
My girlfriend's Scottish, so you need to be careful.
Yeah. So I think like they're gonna hate it because our accents are absolutely fucking dreadful. I apologise to every Scottish person I've ever met.
Yeah.
But there's something about the absolute surrealist joy of it.
Yeah.
It really works.
So what is he asking the Ouija board then? What are the questions he's asking it?
It's like, I think it'll be just thinking like, what am I gonna do about that? Do you know what? He's talking drunkenly into the ether, and the pot starts to.
It's like moving it,
Yeah.
But what's it? I imagine like he's moving it, and it's moving like the cheese which is stuck to the board into like
It goes,
a word. You know what I mean? It's
So
like,
what would the word be?
Yeah, maybe. Go on.
I'm like, if it's gonna have to take him to her.
Yeah.
You know, and the spirit, we've got to figure out, is the spirit good or bad? Because I think if that'll decide the message, because it could be, the message might say, go to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Or
what about if he's like, obviously he's seen this in the news about Stella making this. He's seen that she's making money. He's pissed off. That's why he's gone to the pub and got hammered. He's like, this is stressing me out. Gone to the pub, got hammered, gone home. And he's like, he thinks that this pizza box is a Ouija board. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he's so half cut. And he sort of asks it, he goes, how do I get money? In his accent. Yeah. And it spells out in the cheese, Stella. You know what I mean? As in like the pizza box, he's asked like, how do I make some money? And it's sent her to.
Also, he's got a bottle of artwork.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it falls into the box.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, it's a sign.
Yeah. It doesn't spell out in the cheese.
Yeah.
The Stella Artois knocks onto the pizza box.
Yeah.
I was thinking there, the beer's knocked on and the liquid goes on, but the letters spell Stella. Crisp. It's like the grease is separated from the beer, and it is perfect spelling.
Oh,
Stella.
this is so good.
Yeah.
So it just spells Stella.
Yeah.
So John,
And the artois is just underneath it, and it's just rolled like that.
Why might John need money? Why is John? Because he's obviously left. He's left his wife, met someone new.
We don't necessarily know.
Is he not? Oh, right, okay.
He's been maybe kicked out for being a bad
Well,
gin.
Right.
I was going to say maybe he did a bit of a pump and dump on her, right? So like he took everything he could and then left her, and then someone has done that to him.
Yeah, maybe.
And he was like, he wasn't right to do what he's done, but he's now looked at it and gone like, the answer's telling me Stella, so I need to go back to where I was to make amends. But I don't think his intentions are entirely genuine.
No,
he's definitely.
He's a wrong un.
He's a wrong un.
Yeah, but I think he's one of them guys who maybe drinks a bit too much. Like,
I'm going with that.
So I think a bit of a off the wall idea. I think that maybe there's a competition for like weird food.
Oh, I love that.
And they both enter, and that's how they meet again. He's like, how can I get to her? Because she's like, I'm not speaking to you. You know, he's messaging her on Facebook. She's not interested, but he needs a way to meet her.
I like that. What I was going to add, instead of it being like a weird food competition, what about if it's a musical vegetable, like it's like a concert? You know, so that it's like everybody's had these different vegetables and they're performing with them. Yeah. And it's like a little veggie concert at this Barras Market.
Like a net zero one, because it's all organic food.
Yeah, I don't think they're asked about that.
Trying a bit topical, you know. So.
But I think I like the idea of them all coming with different vegetables. Like one's got a marrow, one's got like a carrot.
Aubergine into a harp or something like that. You know?
Well, we have to be careful. I think we have to be, definitely, but I think we have to be careful that she... Because we want it to be her...
She's special.
She's special.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And this is her rags to riches curve.
Rags to chipsies.
Rags to chipsies. Rags to chipsies curve.
Okay.
So we don't want her to lose her specialness.
Well, what about...
Because remember we've still got the mystical chip man.
How about this then? It's like to create it... So let's say that she's sort of made quite a bit of money out of these musical vegetables. Let's say that she's earned a bit of coin. So what she does to sort of give back to the community is holds this concert and whoever wins the musical instrument concert gets half of the fortune. Do you know what I mean? So no, okay.
So what
are you thinking?
Well, I think I love it. I just think it's too. What I'm worried about is that we're forcing an ending. So what I'm worried about is we want Stella to make. She still hasn't resolved her complication. Do you know what I mean? We're going to the end without her resolving her complication.
So I think if we can...
So Stella's complication is still her supply and demand. So your brilliant thing with her...
You're right.
With her dragons
Den.
So we still haven't resolved Stella's supply and demand. So we can't go to that yet.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Well, maybe we set like a figure on it. Maybe someone said to her, for £1 million, I can make you a machine that can do this.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't have £1 million. But she sees in the Glasgow Herald again, weird food competition. So it's people who've seen like Jesus in toast and people who've seen like made instruments out of vegetables, and and the prize is £1 million.
Right. Okay. So I'm thinking, just a quick one. The worst thing that could happen to Stella in this. So let's say that she's made these musical instruments out of the vegetables.
Because he's go
and the kids start playing them and like start making TikToks with them, right? So it goes viral.
Yeah.
This sort of
it goes massive.
And nobody else has got this machine.
Yeah.
Nobody else has got this machine. But the worst thing that could happen is obviously she's churning out these vegetables and sending them out to making the money. The worst thing that could happen is like either too many orders come in, reaches capacity and it breaks, and then she has to try and get another. Do you know what I mean?
The worst thing that can happen is that it breaks.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
it's stolen.
Breaks or stolen. Good shout.
Yeah.
So,
Stolen's good.
Stolen. So maybe he steals it.
There we go. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets back into her life, or tries to get back into her life.
Yeah.
Or just goes round it and nicks it.
Yeah, because he's listened to that. What's the answer to his solved my problems? Stella Artois, and he sees that as...
And he just goes round and under some sort of false, like, let's have a chat, Stella.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. When you said false, I thought like he's pretending to be a gas engineer in my
Yeah.
That's why I had.
Well, that's quite good. That's quite good. I quite like it.
Glasses and a mustache.
Yeah.
I just heard me like, you look familiar. And he's like, yeah, we all do. We all do.
But under some false pretenses, manages to get hold of it.
Yeah. Right, I like that.
But it doesn't work for him.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It doesn't work for him because then we can go back to the idea of the magical air fryer.
What I like about this, I think we're at a good point here. So let's say that I like the gas engineer, coming in as a gas engineer, next the air fryer. I reckon we put another prompt in here to see where it might take us.
This in my head at the moment, right, is a bit like Aladdin, right? Because Aladdin...
How?
When he plays... No, hear me out.
I'm going with this. Come on.
Right. When Aladdin gets the lamp, okay, the relationship he has with the genie is amazing, right? The relationship that she has with this air fryer is amazing. And this husband is like Jafar.
Yes.
Right? And and when he gets the air fryer and it doesn't work for him, it's like you've got to have the touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. No, I'm complete with Harry on this.
Yeah.
Also, the air fryer is singing like never had a friend like me. It's like mouths open.
I
That's what I've got.
I don't mind it. I like it.
For my air fryer. Right, that's fucking good, that, Harry. I like that a lot.
He's such a romantic.
Right, which is the prompt?
Yellow. So at this point, is the gas engineer is just robbed the air fryer, and let's pop this in.
I mean, the gas engineer's a great stretch, but I think we can get away with it with the magical air fryer.
Aladdin.
Oh my God, this is the randomest thing I've ever heard.
Usually, right, each week, it's usually sort of links to the story, but these are just wild. But I think we're doing well with them.
Yeah.
I think this is stretching our creative talents A 60-foot wall was built around Stoke-on-Trent.
Right. Okay.
Right, well,
Someone dropped acid when they sent this in.
A 60-foot wall was built around Stoke-on-Trent. So I'm thinking that we could make it easy. The easy thing would be to, it's like a news article or like just something's come up on the TV. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just to...
That's such a cop
I
out.
agree. I'm just chucking it out there as an option.
well, maybe the what's it called? Was it called David or John? What was his
John.
name?
John.
Maybe John doesn't live in Glasgow anymore. Maybe he lives in Stoke.
Maybe he's
could be
run off to Stoke.
Yeah.
And he decides to build a 60-foot wall round.
No, because that's so bad, isn't it? 'Cause
Careful there.
that's
There's
like-
me string line. What you doing?
Yeah. That's like. I feel like we're in one of those things, you know, when you do with kids.
A 60-foot
Have you ever
wall
done
around
drama
Stoke-on-Trent.
with kids? And then they go like, and they run around with guns just killing each other, and they're like, I've just built a 60-foot wall, you can't kill me. Just like, Barley. Just.
I think this we don't have to incorporate this straight away. We can like work towards it, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it is easier if we go with like it's like a headline, right? Yeah. But like, why is she reading the paper? You know what I mean? Like, how does that link to her?
What about, Lewis, if we give the 60-foot wall built around Stoke-on-Trent gives her an idea?
I think I've got it as well.
I like that.
So she sees a newspaper article, and that somehow gives her a thought.
What if go on, Ben?
No, you go first, mate.
I was going to say, what if her kids live in Stoke-on-Trent?
Right.
And she's a bit like, shit, like, why has this happened? You know what I mean?
Right. Go on, Ben.
So my idea is that obviously she's been big news. She's been all over the news. But since she's lost this air fryer, she's not in the news anymore. And she's in the front page, and she's like, I'm not on the front page. The 60-foot wall around Stoke-on-Trent is instead. And it's like the first sign of her being like, I'm losing.
Yeah, the chips are down.
Yeah, the chips are down. Yeah.
Chips are down.
The chips are down. That is a very good line. Yeah. I like that a lot. I was thinking, like, we talked about how she it's close to lockdown, isn't it? COVID times. It's set modern day, and we've mentioned COVID before.
Cool.
So maybe there's been an outbreak in Stoke-on-Trent.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
a variant.
Yes.
The Stoke-on-Trent variant.
Stoke-on-Trent variant.
Yeah.
So it's a Stoke-on-Trent variant.
The Potters.
Yeah.
You just got-
and Sunak has just seen what's happened with the previous COVID, and it like didn't take it seriously. You know what? Go on.
So she's been down to visit her children
In Stoke-on-Trent. Yeah.
He's run off with the air fryer.
Yeah.
She's realised that it's gone and it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while she's there, and you're gonna have to help me, we're working towards the final scene where they've got to be at a certain end point.
Yeah.
But she can't get out of Stoke-on-Trent
Right.
Okay.
because she's trapped there
Okay, yeah, because the wall is being erected.
because the wall is being erected.
Right. Okay. I think I might have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the relationship of the dad to the kids? So, what's John's relationship with the kids? Has he been a good father, bad father? Has he been there for
them?
them?
It's one of those sort of complicated relationships where they know he's a waste of space, but they love him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is he steals the air fryer, and then he goes to his kids. He goes to his kids to sort of show him, like, I don't know, like, just be near him. I don't know. I just like the idea of her being down and out and being like, I've got to go and see my kids. And him being like, I've got to go and see my kids. I've actually got something to show him about my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so they're both in Stoke together.
But she can't get in the wall, and that's she's struggling to get in the wall.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I just wondered if, like, to bring you a nice idea of there being a finale where she goes to get the £1 million, you know, where she has to be somewhere in order to save her business. You know, so for the final kind of, we have to get there.
Well, maybe we bring back the guy at the start. Maybe she's outside the wall, and she's like, I can't get through this wall. And he goes, no, them Domestos toilet guns that he has. And he goes, here's another magic one. Boom! blows an hole in the wall.
I just wonder. I like it. I feel like we're in. Oh my God. That is mental.
Hang on. What's the domestos gun?
How did that domestos gun around?
I don't know.
He goes, the guy in the market just goes, you've got another one.
He's like, why did we bother telling this whole story?
If you like that, I've got another one.
And then they woke up.
If you like magical instruments.
Fucking hellfire. Right, okay.
I think, right.
So we're not going with that. We're not going with that one.
Okay, so
Just spurted out full Steinmans.
she's had it nicked.
She's had it
That's the
nicked.
worst thing that could ever happen.
Yeah, and she's got an order to fulfil, but she can't do it without the fryer.
So he's run down to Stoke-on-Trent to show his kids. He's behind the
60-foot perimeter wall.
60-foot perimeter wall. So now she's got no chance of getting it back. The competition's coming up to win the money.
And she knows she's going to win it. If she gets it, yeah.
Yeah, she's got no air fryer now. She can't get through the wall. She's having to go back to the market.
To go and find.
Him.
Right. So
But we've got to get the wet fish in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why don't we have? She goes to the market. This could be good, right? And she's like going to different stalls, asking different, like people about like, can I get this air fryer that makes vegetables? And people are just like, what are you going on about? You know what I mean? So I think we act it out, right?
Yeah.
So I reckon you go to each of us as individual salesmen. So what are you selling on this market? You said you can get anything, yeah? Like anything really dodgy.
Yeah.
So what do you want to sell on this market?
Domestos guns.
Okay.
No, I'll sell the things that you put on the inside of a toilet and when you flush it, it makes it
Yeah.
smell nice.
Yeah, the ones
Yeah.
that use domestos guns to put one on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of yours glow in the dark.
Yeah. The neon. Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to sell industrial strength car air fresheners.
Yeah.
Like they are so strong. Like so strong. Lasts like longer than the car. So that's what I'm going to sell, air fresheners.
I want to sell handbags with portable speakers built into them.
Yeah, practical.
Really niche.
Okay.
The only place
Okay.
you get them.
And you're playing Stella in this, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be Stella. Okay.
Are we doing accents?
I
reckon
think
so.
to risk offence.
We should risk offence.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay. Let's go.
So which one do you want to come to first?
Okay, could you give me I'll come.
Well, I'd say so. We're all chatting around right at the market. There's like
You're right there, Bobby.
I mean, hey, Bobby.
Who's the wife? Still dead?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Just like the guy from
lads,
Hello.
can I interrupt you for a minute?
I don't know. Can you?
Of course you can, Ian.
You just did.
Don't get like that with me.
Sorry.
This is an emergency.
Sorry.
I need to find the wee fella that was selling the air fryers.
Who?
I don't know his name. Right, he's a wee fella, right? He was here a month ago. Had a big stall full of the air fryers. Loads of them.
I not seen this game myself, man.
Have you not seen him?
No.
Come on! He had a massive big stall with air fryers. That's all he was selling.
No,
he was like,
no.
there must have been 100 air fryers on there.
Fryer for your hair.
No!
There's people out there frying their hair now, Bobby. You heard that? You're hearing this girl talking about frying hair. They'll do fucking anything
Don't be a
nowadays.
wee dafty. No frying your hair.
Frying the air.
No.
You can fry the hair now.
You can fry the air.
Fuck me, Bobby. You can do
Exactly.
anything these days.
So you can lose weight.
Is that global woman?
It's
Frying the
exactly. That's the problem.
That's the fucking problem. No, I think, you know what? I know who she's on about, guys.
Oh.
There was a wee guy. I remember he was there for a few weeks,
He's a wee
but
funny guy.
Yeah,
You
stunk.
know, he had a really long jacket on. It looked like he had no legs, but he did have legs because I saw his feet.
What do you mean, Billy no legs?
That might be him. Was his name Billy?
Fucking Billy No
Billy
Legs.
No-
Billy no legs with the air fryers.
He was sniffing about here about a month ago, I might
Exactly.
They
add.
were dead popular, because you can put the potatoes in them to make chips, but they didn't make you fat.
Oh.
Right.
You bought a speaker off me.
You should have brought one of his air fryers.
You just got fucking burned
Yeah,
there,
you
man.
might be getting slapped by a fish.
He's got air fried.
Yeah, you just got air fried, mate. Okay, but right, so Billy No Legs, I saw him knocking about recently. I think he lives on Drury Lane. He doesn't live far from here. If you go around the corner, he's got a little flat.
The Muffin Man.
Yeah, like the Muffin Man, lives near the Muffin Man. He lives around the corner.
Are you winding me up
No, he literally lives around the corner. He comes round, he only comes once a month.
with the air fryers?
With whatever he can find, yeah.
So when was the last year like?
I sold him a eucalyptus. Fresh, 2 weeks ago.
Doesn't he smell like eucalyptus, by the way? I bought one of those. My house smells like piss.
Oh, it's fantastic. About the size of a softboard.
I swear to God, the cat wouldn't have come in for weeks.
That's what they're used for. You know what I mean? Keep the wee ones out. Right, Billy No Legs.
How are we going to get to the point where she gets slapped with the fish? Is it one of us who slaps her with the fish?
Well,
or is it Billy No Legs?
I think I've wound him up enough to slap me with a fish.
I can't like should be getting slapped by a fish by me. Yeah. Insulting me, I'm not
How long we got left on the time?
I reckon if we can wrap it up in the next couple of minutes with her.
Right. So she needs to go. She goes to the man, Billy No Legs.
Yeah.
Billy No Legs, I think. Does Billy No Legs swap me an air fryer if I allow him to slap me with a fish?
Maybe that could be.
The only thing I'm thinking, right, is are we going to have any sort, like, what are we...
What's the conclusion?
What is the conclusion? Is it like she gets the air fryer back off her ex-husband, or is it she gets a new one? Like, what is... Are we...
I think...
He's got to lose and I've got to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think you getting slapped by a fish, right, is like the new air fryer. I'm not saying it turns into an air fryer.
Do you know that the final prompt, I think it says they were slapped in the face with a wet fish. Does it say
they
they were?
They were.
So it doesn't say that it is Stella
right.
who gets slapped. Could it
They
not
were.
be John who gets slapped with the wet fish, and we
Yeah.
work towards that?
So maybe because it doesn't work for him, does it?
It doesn't
You said
work
before.
for him.
Yeah, you said it doesn't work for him, doesn't it? So maybe he's on his way, like Jafar does in Aladdin.
Yeah.
I need you to do this for me. So maybe he's on his way to force Stella to do something.
Yeah, and I like the comic idea of him scaling the 60-foot wall in Stoke-on-Trent in order to get back to Glasgow.
He's so mentally
Unstable.
He's mad that it won't work for him.
Yeah, that's it.
This pizza
And
box is
he's-
like a compass.
Yeah.
So where to go?
Brilliant.
Where is she?
The pizza box has turned into a compass.
Yeah, he carries that round with him everywhere.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah.
That is funny.
That is funny.
His kids thought he's brought around pizza for him. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's his Ouija board.
Not got a sat nav. It's just the car.
Yeah. And he's pissed off.
That's brilliant.
He's pissed off because he's obviously taught this to his kids and it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's gone like, right, I'm getting
So
back.
he's humiliated, and there's nothing worse than a man being humiliated in front of his children. So
Yeah.
he's gone back,
Scaled the wall
scaled the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, driven up to Glasgow.
by someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone's helping him get back to Glasgow from Stoke.
I'll give you a lift and you can talk to your nan.
Yeah,
That's what it's
I think
done.
he meets you three when he's looking
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
Have you
Right.
seen it?
Yeah.
He
No,
meets you three.
yeah.
And is Stella there as well? Asking, she's come back asking, "Where's the fella?"
At the same time.
At the same time as John comes
Right.
back and is trying to see where this fella is because the air fryer is not working.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
unlike the air fryer itself.
I think she does meet the man, Billy No Legs.
Billy No Legs, right?
I think she does find Billy No Legs. I think he meets you three on the way because you're funny,
Yeah.
and he has an interaction with you three.
Okay.
Right.
I think but there's some kind of, the final scene is between Billy No Legs,
Stella.
Stella, and John.
I've got
Right.
it. So I think the competition is that day. And I think she's got it in the bag. I don't think they need to worry about the competition. But I think she gets to Billy No Legs, and it's a little bit like the end of The Wizard of Oz. You know, he's a bit of a fraud.
Ah.
And he's like, you were the magic all along.
Oh,
And
I
then,
love
yeah,
that.
you know, that sort of thing. But that he's a bit of a fraud.
Yeah.
And
And then he gets slapped with a fish.
and then John arrives, and he's like, you need to do this for me. And then she finally stands up to John and goes, fuck you. And
Slaps him with a fish.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a rubbish.
I do like
I
that.
like the
I
Wizard of
think
Oz.
that this week Billy No Legs is selling fish
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same stock every time he comes to the market.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's selling
yeah,
something
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And like,
Do you want a wee defected fish?
The ones that sing on the wall.
Yes, yes. I think it's a singing fish. I don't think it's like a wet fish. I think it's one of those stupid fish.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with
And
you.
it says something.
It gives her the right advice she needs.
Yeah, it gives her the advice she needs. So Billy doesn't speak. The fish speaks.
Right, okay.
So the fish gives her the message that she needs. Like, listen to your heart or something.
listen to your carp.
Listen to your carp. And it gives her the strength she needs to do it on her own or whatever it is that she needs.
Yeah.
And she hits him with that fish.
Oh, I imagine whacking with a massive tuna.
Yeah. So
And it's in
something-
tuna as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
It's got a perfect
And it's a
pitch.
gun.
Yeah.
So that was it. So they both come, like there's been that sort of altercation, and then she's took it out on him.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've
love
done a
that.
good job
And
there.
I imagine him on the floor and us 3 heads of Marcus Stalls just stood above him.
Yeah.
Just looking down.
And her going, what are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly. Very well done.
Congratulations, Nina. That was brilliant.
That was loads of
you,
fun.
Well done, you guys.
That was a lot of fun. We will be back in 1 second to come up with a name for this film,
Yep.
what the poster might look like, the soundtrack, and you gifting a line to the pot, Nina, for the next guest. So we'll be back soon.
Just a little bit.
Well, I've got to say, Nina, that was brilliant.
Oh, I really enjoyed that.
It was,
Yeah,
it was a
enjoyed
good
it.
so
laugh.
much fun.
I mean, I think they were the wildest prompts, start cards, end cards we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad this was episode 20.
21,
21, whatever it is. Yeah. 'Cause I don't think we could have dealt with them at the start.
Yeah. I mean, I think testament to what? Because I don't think we would have dealt with that early doors.
No.
I think we would have struggled with them
Yeah.
prompts. And Nina, you was really good at keeping it on track
Yeah.
and like making
thank
sure
you.
like the loose ends were tied up and stuff like that. How did you find it?
I found that so good. Like, I found that so much fun. You guys are great.
Thank
And it really sort of reminded me of like how useful it is when you're writing to just how to warm up. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
like when you're writing as a comic, and you all know this, like sometimes when you're looking at a blank page and you don't know where to start, like sometimes just like picking something random can really just help you get started. So it was just like such a fun thing to do.
I always think with stuff like creativity, it's best to go absolutely absurd and then scale back.
Yeah.
Because like if that's reality and that's, you know, like just daydreams, the funnies tends to be about there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like a nice little middle ground. But
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
forces you to sort of work within parameters as well. And I think that's like trying to get out of situations like that or trying to like make some meaning out of it is difficult. But when you do figure something out, it's so rewarding. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
as if we've managed to come up with something.
Absolutely.
It's such a great idea.
And it's like your mate says, doesn't he? I always stick to this line when I tell people about the podcast. Like, there's nothing wrong with nonsense, and there's no wrong answer with nonsense, and it is all nonsense. So you can't do anything wrong. So
Yeah.
no matter what you say, like even if you say you're going to shoot a domestos gun, it's not the wrong answer. Still, There's
No,
I've not
absolutely.
got a clue what this domestos gun
I'll
looks
show you
like as
afterwards.
well.
I'll show you.
Right.
I'll make you one.
Yeah.
But the fact, what was cracking me up was the fact that he just happened to be in Stoke-on-Trent by the 60-foot perimeter, just saying
It's
like,
magic. You can be anywhere.
Anyway, right. So Nina, what we try to do is come up with a name for the story, name for the
goodness.
film. We imagine it as if it was a film, and we like a bit of a play on words.
Yeah.
So obviously in this we've had an air fryer, we've had like what else? It's been set in Glasgow.
Yeah, spuds,
Spuds,
potatoes,
potatoes.
Scottish.
Yeah. So
Like-
the musical vegetable sort of route.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
got to be sort of when the chips are down.
Yeah. I think that is a brilliant tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like name a film when the chips are down.
So
What if it's Freaky Friday?
yeah, that's nice.
Freaky Friday is very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Freaky Friday is
Yeah,
really nice.
we got that very quick.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You've got to have what's called a dash between the fry.
Yeah.
yeah,
day.
yeah. that's
Freaky
really
Friday
nice.
when the chips are down.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
fry
yeah.
white. Yeah, with a white. I
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, yeah.
That
We've
was
smashed
quick,
that.
Harry.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Smashed that.
Sometimes we'll be here for 10 minutes going like,
That break's done you the world of good, mate. I say, yeah.
And if we was imagining the poster, what it'd look like on like a billboard or something like that, what do you reckon we're seeing? Is it Stella like holding the air fryer? Is it Stella holding like a flute potato? Like, what are we seeing visually?
You've got to embrace a bit of Scotland, I think.
I think so. It feels very Scottish to me.
What if it's like potato bagpipes?
Yeah.
It's the pipes are coming out of a potato, which is like...
Yeah, I think like playing a potato bagpipe.
Yeah, I like the idea of that.
But I think like she's almost like, what's that really great Scottish director that did... When they're at school, Gregory's Girl. Gregory's Girl. Have you never seen that?
No.
You've got to look that up. It's a brilliant film set in the 80s. But his films, they've got a certain sort of style for the poster. So, and it's
Ben's
very
gonna get it up now.
Scottish.
Right, okay. So it'd be that style, but visually, what do you reckon?
So
like, what's
she
in
would
it?
be the character.
Right.
And you would just have her on a sort of white background with a sort of maybe a drawn tenement in the background, like a sort of...
Okay, like a sketch.
Like a sketch.
Right, okay.
With her in full view.
Yeah, it's almost like 80s, isn't it?
80s, yeah.
80s style, so it's her, like, white background.
Yeah.
Do we see the air fryer in it as well? What about if it was, like, that style, but you've got her and then the air fryer?
Yeah.
I get what you mean. Right, okay, I like that. And if there was the trailer, so we're watching the trailer at the cinema, what is, like, the soundtrack to the montage of clips that we would see?
What if it's... that's a great tune as well, Fisherman Blues by the Waterboys.
Yeah, the Waterboys, they're Scottish.
That's a great tune.
And they're Scottish.
I wish I was a fisherman tumbling
that
on
would
the
be
sea.
that would be perfect.
Far away from
I
far
would watch
lands
that.
and a distant memory.
I was thinking It's Kind of Magic by Queen as well.
It's a kind of magic.
It's a kind of magic.
Yeah, that's
You know, when she like figures it out, I can see the sun like...
Yeah. That would be in the soundtrack.
Magic. Oh, yeah, well, true.
But Fisherman Blues is a great call.
Yeah,
Let's go
Fisherman
with
Blues.
that then.
Yeah, perfect.
Fisherman Blues. And then, Nina, finally, a line that you'd like to offer to the pot for the next guest. So it can be a random line.
Oh, my goodness.
And they've got to deal with it, basically.
Really try and throw them off like they did to you today. you had some really shit ones there, so I reckon you should try.
I sent a cake baked with human hair.
Okay.
I sent a cake baked with human hair.
Yes.
So, yeah, I like that.
Wow.
It was definitely worth the wait, I say.
Yeah.
It is mad where the human mind goes.
Yeah.
That's going to take a story in a different direction.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well,
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
that was brilliant. Go on, Harry, wrap it up for us.
No, is there anything you'd like to plug to
Or
where people
promote?
can find you? You know?
My God. So, just my socials, really. So I do, like, I put stuff online at Nina Gilligan, comedian, and weirdly Gilligan Nina on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is just my name backwards.
I reckon they'll figure it out. And if they don't, you don't want them.
Yeah. And that'd be lovely.
And are you planning on taking your show anywhere else?
Yeah, we're planning a tour.
You're planning a tour,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So
Yeah,
people...
Yeah, so hopefully
eye on that.
people will be able to come and watch that. That'd be great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. This was so much fun.
No, thank you for coming
Thanks
on
for coming on
it.
it.
Yeah.
You're very creative people.
I like that. Well, you're the main writer here. You know? We're following your lead. But Ben, tell the listeners what they need to do, where they can find us, how to
Oh
get
yeah,
involved.
I've never done this before. It's been a while for me, Harry. So I want if you liked it, share it with your friends. If you didn't like it, don't share it with your friends, or just lie. So we are AllMadeUp pod on all socials. So that's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, on Twitter. We don't really use that much. Maybe we should start using that more. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you again, Nina, for coming on the pod. You were brilliant,
pleasure.
and thank you at home for listening. This has been
All Made Up with Nina Gilligan. Till the next time. Bye-bye.
I didn't know when to stop. I know all the end, but I don't know which bit Lewis wants to do.